Hey guys, welcome to Lost Among Locals. I'm Ryan, this is Abby.
We are here in La Paz, Mexico, and we have been basically having a workation. We are trying to catch up with all the things that we're really behind on.
Which is a lot of things.
Which is a lot. So we have taken a break from our Bulgaria videos. We still have 2 more of those for you, and then like a whole series of Turkey videos to get caught up on 2021. But we wanted to start 2022 on a different note. So we had a brilliant idea yesterday. We scrapped what we were doing with Bulgaria and decided to show you our highlight reel of 2021. Even though COVID was a giant pain in the butt,
yeah,
we have some there goes the ice cream man. He has a cowbell. And no, thank you. No ice cream right now. Anyway, so 2021, we had some incredible moments. COVID was a pain in the butt, but we still got to see some awesome stuff. And so we wanted to start 2022 with a recap of all of our favorite moments from 2021. And we're gonna show you guys some of the behind the scenes things that happened during the trip. This won't necessarily be favorite locations, but just some of our favorite moments and activities that happened this year. So here we go. I gotta find my list.
Yep.
Number 1.
Number 1. So our first destination of 2021 was Costa Rica.
Woo! So like most of 2021, our Costa Rica adventures were, well, an accident. We were supposed to be on our way to Egypt, but that trip got canceled. So we ended up in Costa Rica and we had a fabulous time. I had been there before, but Ryan never had, and so it was super fun to get to show him some of the places that I remembered and explore new places on our own. Some of the things we truly loved were local experiences like the waterfall at Los Churros. When we got there, we met literally the whole town. Like, I think everyone was there. And we had the best day with the local teenagers flying the drone, jumping off rocks into the waterfall. They gave us a whole bunch of great tips, and they were super excited that foreigners and strangers were at their local waterfall. We were the only non-locals there, and it was a beautiful day. Then we ended up meeting an awesome guy named Paul from the UK. We rented a car together and did a tour of most of the west coast of Costa Rica. But our favorite part was going way down south to Corcovado and staying in the little town of Drake's Bay. Drake's Bay is loaded with wildlife, and we saw all kinds of parrots, wild birds, and even a tapir on our awesome night tour. The road to get there is a little bit of a journey though. It is unpaved for a very long time, and you definitely need a 4-wheel drive, but that just made the drive even more fun. And we had a flat tire, but hey, part of the journey, right?
And our favorite thing in Costa Rica, by far, had to been, well, let's say by far.
It was good.
Okay, it was a lot of fun. It was something I've never done before.
Yeah.
And we did bungee jumping.
Yeah, we did. Not only did we do bungee jumping, we went bungee jumping from the highest jump in all of Central America. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna pee my pants.
So nervous right now. Oh my goodness.
How was it?
Yeah, it just kind of it's a big blur the whole time.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you hit the end a lot faster than I thought you did. Like, I kept waiting to go down, down, down farther, and then it was like, boom! I'm like, oh, okay, we're done. That's it. I didn't die.
Of all the spots on the Malecon, we've decided to park it in a place where 2 seagulls have now decided to come and fight. So if you hear a horrendous squeaking in the background, that would be fighting seagulls.
Seagulls.
Yeah, seagulls.
Yeah,
So,
I think so.
anyway, it's another first, this time for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we spent about a week or 2 weeks,
I think 2 weeks.
about 2
Yeah.
weeks in a little town called Montezuma in Costa Rica. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set of beaches and coves. We had an awesome experience there. But one morning we decided to try to surf.
Oh, absolutely. And so that morning, I woke up early because I was super excited about going surfing because I always wanted to do it. So Abby was doing some work stuff, I think, back behind. So I took off and went down the beach. Now I've gone on a few runs, so I knew where this beach was.
Yeah.
So I took off to go rent a board and make sure I had plenty of time. But then Abby followed later and had a little bit more of an adventure than what I had going down there.
Y'all, I wanted to kill him. I mean, kill him. He told me it was just a 20-minute walk down the beach. I'm like, okay, cool. So I just walked down the beach that way for 20 minutes. Great. Perfect. I'll meet you in a couple hours. Y'all, I set off to walk, and I am cutting through ravines, rock climbing, like literal rock climbing. I have all the camera equipment because he just went by himself to surf. So I have the regular camera, the GoPro, the drone, all of this stuff, which I usually don't carry anyway. I'm climbing over rocks, over hurdles, under ravines. At one point, I'm like shimmying around this like rock cliff with the ocean on one side and like cliff, and I'm like, what the heck? So I think hiking sandals would have been a good idea, not flip-flops. Ladies and gentlemen, I do this to myself all the time. I just like go out on an adventure impulsively, not planning for anything that I might need. Although I did bring water. This is why it's important to marry someone who has skills in all the areas you don't, like sensibility. I have emerged from the jungle back out into the sunshine. Still no sight of my husband. And I'm ready to murder him when I get there. And then he's like, what are you talking about? And he goes to take me back home, and there's a trail.
Yep.
So like I was by the water edge, crawling over cliffs and rocks and whatever. Yeah, there's a trail that goes up and over. No one told me about the trail. I was told to walk down the beach, which is what I did. Communication, y'all. Communication. It's important in a marriage. He almost died that day. And then we both failed miserably at surfing. So there's that.
It goes on your back foot.
I'm goofy-footed when I snowboard, so we're gonna assume that I am when I surf too. But I guess we'll find out, right? I don't think it's gonna matter either way. This is probably gonna be pretty pathetic. Okay, what do? I don't got no quick snap. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't do it.
Wore myself out.
Yeah, super hard. All right, number 3. Why does this finger not work? 3.
Number 3 is the volcano hike in Guatemala.
Oh man, Guatemala, what a beauty.
It was.
Holy cow.
Yes.
The hike up Mount Acatenango was brutal. I had had the stomach bug for about 4 or 5 days at this point, so I was running a little low on energy. And I never would have made it to the top without our awesome guide, Lucas. He was the savior of the day.
I got on the flat area. A little bit better. It's brutal. I think you can.
We got our second wind and trudged up the rest of the mountain, but when we got to the top, it was super foggy. We couldn't see the volcano next door, and it was really cold. This is the only warm place. So up here at the top, you can hear the mountain like rumbling. Our guide just told us that the mountain is hungry, and at this time it will eat, and then in a little bit it will start to burp. So we're just sitting here waiting for a volcano to burp. Luckily it was only us and one other girl on the tour, so we had a whole tent to ourselves and about 7 sleeping bags. Thank goodness. About 3 a.m. Lucas woke us up because the volcano was burping. Watching this beast of nature do its thing was probably one of the most amazing things we have seen to date. We were like little giddy children. We got excited every single time we heard the rumble. And it wasn't just us either. Every time the volcano would explode, the entire mountain would erupt with cheers. You could hear people in every direction, out of the woods, out of the mountaintop. It was an amazing experience for everyone, and it continued on until sunrise. Next morning, I was not up for the hike to the peak. I do not do very well with altitude. Mostly I don't do well with thin cold air.
Yeah.
This southern girl needs hot, wet air to breathe. I think I might have a little bit of asthma and undiagnosed. But yeah, I have a whole lot of trouble if the air gets thin and cold.
And not gonna lie, that hike was brutal. I mean, you're pretty much hiking up in sand the whole time.
Yeah,
I mean, you're just
hard.
slipping loose rock. It was a tough hike.
Yeah. But so the next morning, I stayed and filmed the sunrise at the base camp, and this dude went to the peak.
I was glad Abby stayed behind because the hike to the summit was an intense climb through loose sand, and it was extremely cold. We started before sunrise, hiking in the pitch black with only our flashlights and the volcano erupting behind us for light. It was so cold that the water in my water bottle froze by the time I got to the peak. But getting to see this incredible sunrise made the hike worth it.
Probably one of our favorite experiences ever. Actually, one of the best hikes we've ever done.
Yeah.
Just really amazing. Second thing we did in Guatemala, number 4 on our list, was the incredible Semuc Champay. This is probably one of the most naturally beautiful places we have ever seen.
Yeah.
And we were totally surprised by it. We just knew there were some pools out there, and it was kind of like an adventure to get to. We thought it'd be fun to film because you have to like take a few buses and ride in the back of a truck, and it's way out in the middle of nowhere. And so we thought, well, that'll be fun. And it's like this crazy ride in the back of a truck in the mountains, and we were not prepared for what we would find when we got there.
Oh yeah.
So you hike up a pretty steep trail up some natural stairs until you get to a man-made viewing point, and it is incredible. Just a series of completely natural limestone pools with the brightest green water. It was like something out of a painting, one of the prettiest things we have ever seen. So we played in the pools for a while, and then the day got even more fun. Leads us to our 5th thing on the list, which we were also totally unprepared for, and that was the caving.
at Samuk Champay. So you have the national park, and then just across the river, the glorious, beautiful river, there is some private property that they've turned into like an adventure playland. So we get over there, there's a rope swing into the river, there's just, and
I think there was tubing,
in the river,
you go swimming, yeah.
But they also had a cave tour experience. So we hooked up with an awesome guide. He showed us some of the plant life in the region. We got our Mayan war paint on. Ryan's was Superman.
Oh yeah, he painted me as a cat, I believe. He chuckled every time he put stuff on me. He would start giggling and laughing at me because he gave me little ears for cat, nose, and whisk. He was dying.
So the entire time through the rest of the tour, every time he would turn around and look at Ryan, he would chuckle and start giggling. It was the cutest
But I would say our guide was
awesome.
He was awesome. He was a lot of fun and just made the experience that much better.
But that experience, we were totally not expecting. We knew we were going to do a cave.
Yeah.
We knew there was some water. We'd seen our friends, Danny and Emily, the Vandersons. Check them out. If you don't follow their channel, you should. They're super fun. They're down in Colombia right now. They live in a van. They have for pretty much their whole marriage. And they have two pets, a doggy Sembrita and a kitty cat Graham, and they travel as a big family, and they're super fun. So you should definitely go check them out. But they have been there first, so anyway, we knew a little bit about it, but not a lot. And we stepped into that cave and found out real quick that we were going to be swimming through chest deep water.
I've said that it was so surprising because I've explored caves before,
but not like that.
never by candlelight.
Oh yeah,
because there was no flashlights or anything. So all we did when we get in there, he hands us these candles and lights them, and your job was to keep your light going as you were going. Like I said, chest deep water. Sometimes hanging on the ropes and like swimming and climbing. It was such an incredible experience.
And then we have all this camera equipment on us too, right? So we really only had our phone.
We had our GoPro and your phone, yeah.
But yeah, so we're like rope pulling ourselves across this water that eventually was over our heads. So we're like trying to swim with all this stuff. And then we get inside and there's a water slide?
There was like a natural water slide.
Inside a cave.
You had to climb up a ladder of waterfall.
Rappel up a waterfall.
And then there was a cave, like a pretty much pitch black cliff jump in the cave where he just says, hey, climb up there. There's like 3 levels. And of course we went to the top level. Yeah. He's like, okay, you just jump to the middle.
You can't see anything.
You can't really see anything.
We didn't even show it to you on the real video. If you haven't seen that cave video or the Samuk Champay video, you need to go watch that. We'll link it up here for you. But I don't even think we showed that part because you couldn't see anything.
Can't see anything.
Like the camera couldn't see anything. All you can hear is like go and then splash.
Yeah.
Like that's it. We'll show it to you now. It was crazy to not be able to even see your own feet and just jump off into pitch darkness and hope
you don't hit anything.
That your guide was right.
Yeah.
And there was nothing to land on or smack your head against or, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but again, crazy fun. Totally more than a lot of times you book these adventure tours and you get there and it's like, maybe an adventure for an 8-year-old, or something, but it's so safe that it's really not even fun. This was not that.
Nope.
This was fun. So when we arrived in Guatemala, we actually spent our first 2 weeks working with a ministry there called Life Builders. They have an incredible ministry. So Life Builders has a campus in Guatemala City where we actually stayed, but they also have a ministry in a small village near Lake Atitlan. And this village was hit particularly hard by a natural disaster, leaving a very, very high percentage of widows and orphans. And so we did some food work in that area, and then we went to explore mostly Antigua and the region around it. So Antigua is a beautiful town. You should definitely check it out. We had other things on our list to explore, and honestly, we just didn't do them because we liked Antigua.
We loved Antigua that much. We just stayed there for, 3 weeks?
I don't know, long time.
3 weeks, a long time.
All right, number 6. So here's where the story gets a little hairy. We flew home in March, April, and did our taxes and had my nephew's first birthday. He's so sweet. Anyway,
Then after that, we were supposed to go and explore Egypt. This was the second time we had been booked for Egypt. We had our visas, all the stuff was ready, all our testing was ready, everything was good to go. We get to Dallas to get on the plane and they refused us entry. Because our COVID test did not have a rubber stamp. And American Airlines and British Airways, it was like a combo flight. Something in their system would not let them override it because their system said that Egypt needed a rubber stamp. And we fought, and we fought, and we fought, and we had the pharmacies, and we had we called the hospital, we had the labs and the stuff. No, nothing would work, nothing would work. And so we were stuck in Dallas. Our flight was canceled, and we weren't sure what we were gonna do. But I knew for a fact, because of all my flight checking, that there was a cheap flight to Albania and that Albania had absolutely no testing restrictions or whatever. So I was like, you know what, we can get on a flight to Albania now. So we did. We got on a flight to Albania with no plan, no idea where we're going. All we knew about Albania was that it was in the Balkans and the capital was Tirana because that's where we were flying into. That's literally all we knew.
That's all we knew.
But when we got there, we fell in love.
A quick Google search landed us with a million things to see. We just found site after site after site of incredible history, from early era Greek history to even earlier Illyrian sites. We saw incredible mountains, beautiful beaches. The Albanian Riviera is absolutely stunning. And we had like oceanfront apartments with balconies overlooking the water for $20 or $25 a night. It was incredible.
So we ended up staying in Albania for like a month.
I think so, yeah.
We found this hostel in Tirana. We made some beautiful friends there. Hey, Shala. That we ended up meeting back up with in Turkey later. So anyway, loved Albania. Really, really beautiful place. We explored the historical town of Berat. We explored the historical town of Bucharest, which has just some incredible architecture and a long history.
Yeah.
We explored some of the beach towns and Butrit National Park, and just super beautiful place. But our favorite part of Albania, really strangely, the people there are wonderful.
Oh yeah, they were amazing.
And one man in particular, it's weird to say that a restaurant was your favorite experience in a whole country, but it was. There was this restaurant called Lily's
Homemade Food Lily.
Homemade Food Lily. And Lily is an exceptional human.
Yes.
Like, he just had this restaurant in his backyard that he had transformed into this like terraced little environment. And y'all, we sat down with people from Germany, France,
Poland. Yeah.
And he was just so fun that you could not have fun in his presence. Like, we all ended up having this huge conversation between all of us, and the food.
That was amazing. It was so good.
His wife, which we never met, but he talked about her like she was just his angel from heaven, which was also the cutest thing ever. But her food, holy moly. It was one of those places where there's like 10 things on the menu and you just like pick one. We all had something different, and the international group that was there, everything was awesome. Like at one point, this lady was trying to figure out what to order, so I was making suggestions to her, and then the people at the other table were like, no, you have to have this, and the other people were like, no, you have to have this, because everything was that good. And yeah, it's a night we won't ever forget, I don't think. Like, it was just one of those experiences that felt, I don't know, it was just special.
Yes.
He was a special person.
He was.
Yeah, he was super special. So, Lily's homemade food.
Yes.
Lily's food homemade.
Homemade Food Lilies.
Homemade Food Lilies. That. If you're ever in Berat, go and check out Homemade Food Lilies. He's a special person. You'll love him. We guarantee.
Absolutely.
After Albania, we headed to Greece. Now, we spent about several weeks in Athens, doing some work and just kind of exploring the ancient sites there. Athens is a beautiful city. It gets a bad rap sometimes, but we actually had a really good time there. The reason we were in this city was we were working for another ministry there, Hellenic Ministries. They do a ton. It's kind of an umbrella thing. They have all of these things that kind of they work with and help support. And so we did some work with Roma children in one of the villages. We did some filming for several of their ministries. They work a lot. There's a big refugee population in Greece coming out of Syria and other places. And so there have been a lot of ministries set up to help refugees find jobs, to help get them settled in food and just teach them a trade and things like that. So we worked with some of those. There is also a very heavy prostitution issue within Athens, and most of those prostitutes are not there willingly. They are brought in from another country in the sex trade industry, and one of the ministries that we worked with under this kind of umbrella helps to pull those girls out of that if they want to get out and find them a different kind of work. So we were able to interview a few of those girls, and just beautiful women.
Oh yeah.
Awesome things that are going on there. So we did that for a week or so, or two, and then we rented our cute little car, Smurfette, and headed out on a road trip of the Peloponnese. We saw every ancient Greek site you can think of. We saw Delphi, which was beautiful. Ryan ran the original 100-meter dash in Olympia, which was really cool, the original Olympic Stadium. So that was super fun. And then after we finally got our passes in, we took a ferry trip to several of the Greek islands. We went to Mykonos and Naxos and Santorini. But our favorite by far, and our favorite Greek experience was the Isle of Patmos. Patmos is way over almost to Greece.
No, almost to Turkey.
Almost to Turkey, sorry. Patmos is way over almost to Turkey. It is glorious.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. You get the views of Greece, you get the fun people it's not as touristy, it has a very, very local vibe. You get great ancient history. It's the place where in the Bible John was exiled to Patmos, so you can explore the cave that he reportedly lived in there, and there's a big monastery built there that has some crazy relics in it, like heads, skulls. It's a little weird, but if you want to see the skull of some saint, it's there.
It's there.
Beautiful scooter ride.
Oh yeah.
The most amazing beach, and it's a special place.
Yes,
Patmos is a special place. We even met a family of French people there who said they had.
Yeah, they've been going back there for 20 years?
At least.
Probably over 20 years. This constant, each generation just keeps going back because they love Patmos.
Yeah. So it's like become their family tradition. They all live kind of all over the world, but they meet in Patmos every year at this one beach. And it was cool to hang out with them.
Yeah, it was.
And Patmos is a beautiful place. So that was definitely our favorite Greek stop, was in Patmos. And then it's on to Bulgaria. And now we're going to get really short because we haven't shown you Bulgaria and Turkey yet. So we're just going to hit a couple of highlights really quick. And you guys make sure to stay tuned to see them all in detail. So, Bulgaria.
Our favorite spot in Bulgaria was definitely Bansko. Bansko is a little ski resort town, and we took a hike there into the Pirin Mountains, and it was absolutely glorious. The mountains were super beautiful. Everything was very green. There were several beautiful lakes on the hike. We got to see a ton of animals, including wild horses and this really weird bird moth thing. It was just a really great day, and Bansko is a super cute town. And now for our last thing on the list. This was so fun. We took a road trip through Western Turkey, and we saw some amazing things, which we aren't going to tell you about yet because those videos are upcoming, so keep an eye out for those. But our favorite thing in Turkey was going paragliding in Oyu Deniz. Just look at the footage. It was amazing. That wraps up our favorite experiences of 2021.
We personally want to show you guys more of the behind the scenes stuff, more of the local stuff that we get to experience. That was really, really hard in the last year and a half because with COVID going on,
I mean, people are just more cautious, not necessarily more, I guess, inviting in. Just, I mean, they're still super nice people, but everybody's just kind of standoffish because of the COVID.
Yeah, and a lot of the smaller Airbnbs were closed because they didn't have the money to like keep up with the restrictions that they needed to. Same thing for a lot of the sites. You know, the big stuff would be open, like the bungee jumps and the parrot, but a lot of the smaller things, a lot of the local restaurants were closed. So a lot of the things that we would normally kind of gear towards,
just couldn't do it.
Yeah, we just couldn't do it. And so we are looking forward to, hopefully, even though Omicron is setting itself up to be a giant pain in the butt too, hopefully we will be able to do a little bit more of that this year. That's our goal anyway. But if that's not what you guys want to see, then drop it in the comments and let us know, because we certainly want to show you what you want to see. So let us know what it is you'd like to see more of. We look forward to hearing from you, because inquiring minds want to know. Like ours.
Us. Yeah.
We want to know. We're going to leave now. So
Get lost.
I love
You're so funny.